This is the first time I've played Moles Club with a full band. I've been playing the cellar bar downstairs for years, really, as a solo acoustic act, because that's where the songwriters go. But I've always wanted to be upstairs in the proper indie venue, and this is my first time, so I brought a band this time, and we're going to play as loud as we can. I put a new band lineup together for this album, so we're touring. So the lineup has only been together for this. This is the first tour we've done. I have had band lineups in the past, and Jen, my guitarist, has played with me before, but the rhythm section is a new rhythm section. I was inspired to make Capital because I've been working on a kind of trilogy about London of albums. So this is my third album that's consciously set in London, or maybe just, you could say, set in a big, nasty urban city. And so my inspiration for it has come from primarily living in London and walking around rather than using cars or the public transport or whatever. I tend to like wandering around the city. I think my music is political, but I don't think I'm 100% comfortable with having got put in a box of being a protest singer. And I think over the last 2 or 3 years, through my own fault, I've become a bit of a protest singer, whereas what I want to do is make music about anything. And in a way, once you're labelled a political songwriter, it almost unconsciously puts other subjects off limits, where people who know my material for years know I've written songs about animals, or written love songs, or just written songs about life. So it's a bit of a funny one. I think I am political, I'm a very political person, but I think I'm stuck in a box and I'm climbing as fast as I can out of the box. I guess my biggest musical inspiration ever is Springsteen, and I grew up, before I discovered indie rock and punk rock, I was listening to really cheesy American mainstream soft rock, and then I kind of discovered punk and discovered the Enemy and discovered real bands, and the one act that I'd already been into before then that carried through by weight of his sheer quality was Bruce Springsteen. He's still the person that I would turn to in moments of real crisis to listen to things. I really love the American college rock underground, so I really get into bands like Sebado and Yo La Tengo. Dinosaur Jr. are one of my favourite bands. I love it when bands make really loud noise but are still in touch with actually saying something. So a songwriter like Lou Barlow from Sebado would be someone I would sort of really try and emulate and fail. Just over the last few months I've signed to a new label, Extra Mile, which is a London indie label. Before that I was on Snowstorm Records for about 5 years, and we got on really well, so I was on he's a one-man indie project, you know, like a kitchen table label. But now I feel like it's the first time I've had a big team of people working my music, so it feels like a big step up. And I really liked that they're really young and they really enjoy their jobs, which is good. You know, you get so many cynical people whose office job has become just their misery. My biggest musical ambition now is to be able to make more albums faster, because over the last few years I've only released an album every couple of years. I'm working on a book of short stories at the moment, because I've got a bunch of short stories that are really good, but they're not enough for a full book, so I'm trying to write some more. And then we're also working on a DVD. So in theory someone's going to make a documentary, and we're going to do a concert film and all that kind of stuff, and put it on a full-length DVD. Apart from making music, my biggest ambition is to work in fiction and get published that way. I've done some journalism, but journalism's a very dark art, and it sucks your soul away. But I love the idea of writing fiction. I think I come from a political starting point somewhere between socialism and anarchism. I don't want to get confused by that because I find myself so often at odds with people who would describe themselves as socialists or anarchists. I think it's not so much about me, but I think any songwriter should be writing songs that are reflecting what they really feel. And the problem is, because we've corporatized our culture, songwriters are writing what they think they should write, and that's the worst thing about the music world at the moment, is that nobody feels that they're in a position to be the songwriter they really want. And that's even the most powerful people, I think. You know, for me, I'm not going to compromise what I write songs about. So I'm known best, I guess, for some songs that have offended people. So a song like Huntsman Comes A-Marching offended a lot of people, but it was a song that reflected exactly how I felt and exactly what I wanted to say. And I don't want to water that down for anyone. I've written a lot of love songs recently because I've been spending a lot of time touring in the United States and I miss my wife. So I've found that love songs come very easily when you're away from your missus. Particularly with love songs, sometimes it will start and it will sit there as half a song for months and months until the person you love punches you in the face or gives you a big kiss, and then your feelings explode and then you write the other half of it. But sometimes they come all in one go. I haven't got any children, I'm married, but when I play guitar I have to put my wedding ring on the other finger, and it's almost quite a kind of significant thing in my head. I don't like doing it, because you know, some people, they get married and they never take their ring off, and I'd kind of quite like to never take my ring off, but it has to come off and go on this hand. And then also that kind of almost it's almost a metaphor for the constant battle between your love, your wife or your husband or whoever, and your music that you make, because anyone who tours and makes music full time will tell you it's tough when you go away all the time.